Let me start with a question. Have you ever been to China? What comes to your mind when you think of China? Beijing? The Great Wall? Or the Kung Fu Panda? Then what about Chengdu? Have you ever heard of Chengdu? Let me show you on this map. Chengdu is one of the biggest cities in southwest China. It's the capital of Sichuan province and home to over 16 million people. You know who else is home to? The giant panda. Whew. Chengdu is also famous for its spicy food and relaxed atmosphere. It's been my home for over 30 years and I love it here. 谢谢. Hey, I'm Kun, and I invite you to join me on these virtual walks where I show you around my city and hopefully I could learn something new for myself. Sure. Thank you for calling. Bye. Okay. Done. Ooh, end of the week. Yay. I think one of the most interesting misconceptions about Sichuan is people always think it's such a laid-back place. People here shouldn't worry too much about their lives. People shouldn't work too much, but things are quite different with people my generation, who works 7 days, even longer, without taking any breaks. But today, because I've done with all my work this week, I decided to do something healthy, something interesting, something outdoor. I decided to go to one of the most popular parks in Chengdu to work out a little bit and to join other locals. That'd be fun. Ooh, great to be outside. I love this park. It's called East Lake Park of Chengdu. Okay, parks like these are just like those in Europe, right? Big, large public space, lots of green, probably with a lake in the middle. Yeah, this is like the modern life of Chengdu. People love to come to parks like these. This is a very big, important public spaces for us. You can tell the big buildings behind my back. Yeah, can you imagine how many people are there? Need to come out, need to work out a little bit. And on weekends or public holidays, people like to bring their families out, picnic by the lake, or go to visit the museums in my back. They can also check the cafes and bookstores where they can have a great family time together. Oh, wow, I'm getting my cardio for the day. Parks like these have facilities like these, so lots of people my age, even younger, like to come to parks so they can work out with these amazing facilities. Woo! As I'm leaving the park, I'm in the main street, which means the park is part of the street. This is exactly what Chengdu is working on, to make the parks part of the city and to make the city, include all these parks without any boundaries, which I like. Well, I just got changed and I'm in a different park. Very different from the one we visited in the morning. As you can tell, I just entered from that entrance and there is an obvious main gate for this park. This is one very striking difference than the one we visited in the morning. And also this one represents the most traditional local park in Chengdu. And Wangjianglou today is way bigger compared to its original size. Now the park is made of three main parts. The first part is where we are now, the Bamboo Preservation Park, where holds more than 400 different breeds of bamboo. Inside this area, you can find behind me, there is a class of students who are following their teachers, learning how to paint bamboo. There is also a second area which holds the architecture beauty of from the Qing dynasty, the 18th century AD, where we're going to check later. And the last part, of course, is why this park was built originally. That was in memory of a great female poet back in the 9th century of Chinese history. Let's go check them out. 就是你学画画学多久了？ How many years? Only a few months. Wow. Look at this. This is so interesting. This is calligraphy. Instead of writing with ink and paper, he's writing with water and on the floor of the park. And obviously, he's doing an incredible job that he attracts so many audiences around him. What he's writing is a very famous poet that all the students, in primary school, we studied this poem. But I was so impressed by how well he writes. He writes a complicated style of characters which contains more strokes compared to the simplified ones. And it's just more difficult to control each and every stroke to make them fill perfectly into these boxes. Wonderful. So now I walked into a memorial hall of the famous Tang Dynasty's female poet, Xue Tao. You can see there are a number of stone carvings. Well, as time passed by, the surfaces of these stone carvings were faded away, but we can tell these are either the poems or the paintings that the following generations dedicated to remembering her, this prominent, great female poet. And I just couldn't get enough of how beautiful this full body portrait of Xue Tao looks. And she's in her beautiful gowns and she looks radiant. Because Chengdu is well known for female dominant, like a city which is dominated by female, and female have such a great sense of happiness living here compared to other parts in China. So I think Xue Tao, who lived in more than 1,000 years ago, set a great precedent for the females of the upcoming generations. Traditional parks in China are filled with various activities. We've seen students painting, and now look at the ladies who are dancing. Cheers. Sugar. I'm having so much fun. I'm back in the playground. Well, after such a long day, I went out exercising in the morning, and in the afternoon, I came to this park, seeing all these great activities people are engaged. And finally, I decided to get myself something, okay? So I found this great tea house inside Wangjianglo Park. And I just got a seat, ordered my tea, got a bag of sunflower seeds, and I'm already ready to enjoy the rest of the day. Just like a tea house like this, which used to be one of the most important public spaces for all Chengdu people. Now, sitting in this tea house, you not only you can drink tea, but you can get massage services and also one of the most special services in Chengdu, which is called ear picking. But other than that, tea house was also the market for job hunters. If you want to looking for a job, you came to the tea houses. Or if you have a family affairs you cannot settle, you may find an immediate person here at the tea houses who help you settle down your family affairs. So it is so important that it's still a very popular destination for Chengdu locals on weekends, on public holidays to come. But other than tea houses and parks, public spaces in China include many, many more. So later I'm gonna go on to the streets and see what I will see. Maybe we'll find some ladies dancing in the street, who knows? Wow, I'm out in public. This is a typical example of public space in China. This is all over China, so real. Behind my back is a little square in this community where lots of people come out at this time of the day. They're either sharing food or they just gather to, reunion after a day of work. It just feels so relaxing. And what's more interesting is this little square behind me has some public sports facilities so people can work out. As Chinese, they like to work their dinner off during this time. And for ladies, one of their favorite activities to do is to gather and dance together. So this is the square dancing. Isn't that cool? I mean, this is just one of the example, and this is so real all over China. This is China and full of life.
天堂。